What's a Nemesis Enforcer? Today on the channel, we discuss the news of the day. San Diego Comic-Con 2021 Mattel Ultimate Edition exclusive Sergeant Slaughter. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for a little breaking news update today on the channel. San Diego Comic-Con 2021, it is upon us here in a few weeks, but today Mattel officially announced the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Sergeant Slaughter Ultimate Edition. Throwback LJN style packaging. Now, you guys have been watching the channel the last 3-4 weeks or so, my weekly purchases video. I have known this news for a while. I haven't shared it. I didn't feel like it was really my place to share the news. It would have been really great for the channel, as we all know, as I'm sure it would have got me a lot of subs and follows and likes and comments and all that kind of fun stuff. But I felt like it was Mattel's place to share this kind of news. I don't really want to rain on their parade. I wouldn't want somebody to do that for me at my job. It's kind of how I justified it to myself. But I'm excited, and I know some people have asked me what I think it is and what it is and give them hints. And I said some people are going to be really happy. Some people are probably going to be a little upset. So early word is a mixed bag, as you would expect. Usually anything that's released is a mixed bag. But take it from me, an 80s kid that wears his G.I. Joe love on his sleeve, wears his wrestling love on his sleeve. This hits me in the wheelhouse I want to be hit in, that is for sure. Absolutely love this idea. Absolutely love Sergeant Slaughter in his G.I. Joe inspired gear. We got the old LJN, the old Hasbro. You guys know about this one, the mail away. Look it up. Very storied figure. Some people count in the LJN set, some don't. I don't officially, but I had to have this, and I did win this, actually, if you go back on the channel. But very cool to get an Ultimate Edition Sergeant Slaughter that's inspired by the old school LJN G.I. Joe figure. Absolutely genius idea. And then taking the Ultimate Edition carding and putting it in the old school LJN carding, which this never had. So a little bit of both there. I think that is just absolutely genius. Now, the thing that wrestling fans need to understand about this one is San Diego Comic-Con figures are always popular. Macho Man's very popular. We remember that. The Mr. T, of course. But this one's maybe a head scratcher to some wrestling fans because we all got to admit this probably isn't going to have the excitement level of a Mr. T or Macho Man. They're a lot more iconic. They do cross a few buckets, and Mr. T, we've never had an elite form. We've had a lot of Sergeant Slaughters, not an Ultimate Edition, but we've had a lot of Sergeant Slaughters over the years. The thing you got to remember about this is there is the G.I. Joe collector out there. The G.I. Joe has a very rabid fan base, just like wrestling figures, just like Marvel Legends. There are some crossovers here and there. But with Mattel getting this Sergeant Slaughter out there, Sergeant Slaughter is a big Joe. He is a big hulking Joe. There's going to be a lot of people picking this one up that don't know about the Valaverse version coming out online here in a month or so. They're going to be picking this one up to put with their G.I. Joe classified figures. There's going to be G.I. Joe collectors that just want this for their G.I. Joe collection. So you're going to have your wrestling fan base digging in trying to get this. You're going to have your G.I. Joe fan base digging in and trying to get this. And oh, by the way, they announced a black card chase edition for this Sergeant Slaughter. We've got the blue carding, but also a chase black version. We'll get into that a little bit more. So you're going to have multiple fan bases clamoring for this. It'll be interesting how this goes. Now, July 22nd, 12 Eastern Time. 12 Eastern Time. This will go up for pre-order on MattelCreations.com. Their fairly new website they announced officially a couple weeks ago, but it's been up in the past. But they're going to sell it through there. Smart move on Mattel's part. Why go through Entertainment Earth? Let them get a cut of the profits. Take all the profits in-house. That's not just Mattel doing that. Hasbro Pulse has that. You're going to see a lot of companies doing that in the future. That is the state of business in the future, I have a feeling. I know my own work, we've even looked into some of that kind of stuff. Like, why don't we cut the middleman of the stores out, go straight to consumers, and we'll deliver it to the consumers? The world's changing at a rapid speed. COVID amplified things 3 years. It basically brought us 3 years faster into the future. You can go look at any kind of studies of retail and stuff like that. So we're going to see a lot more of this stuff, and it's very smart for Mattel to go in-house with something like this. It makes total sense, all the sense in the world. Now, the scary part is unknown system, unknown website. 99.9% of us never dealt with it, don't know How is this going to work? Can we get our card information, everything loaded in? Can we create a username and all that ahead of time? Is it going to be a free-for-all at noon? That's all to be addressed, hopefully, before it goes live, because I could just see the angry tweets, the angry messages. The site crashed. I couldn't get in. It was locked out. Is there going to be a limit on these figures? That's the other one that we don't know at the time of me filming this video. Can you only order one? Can you order two? Can you order as many as you want? Is it going to be made to produce on demand? Nobody knows. I'm looking at 3 of these. I need one to open. I'd like a blue card on card, and I'd like a black chase on card. We'll see if that's possible. Is it going to be limit 1? Are we going to have to call in grandpa and grandma? Are we going to have to call in your parents? Say, hey, order me one of these. Long story, just make sure you order one. That might be the case. So it'll be really, really interesting how this all shakes down. Hopefully it's not just errors left and right and just disaster and a huge mess. I certainly hope not. But, we've seen that in the past. And, fool me once, so you know how it goes. So we'll see. But I love the idea of this. Sergeant Slaughter, he's coming with his a ton of accessories, as an Ultimate Edition always does. I could see some fans out there saying, well, I wanted the Ultimate Edition packaging to be uniform across the board. I get that a little bit, but I do really like the idea of this LJN-inspired packaging. It just really hits me, as that was the first wrestling line I collected as a little kid. But like I said earlier, I think some people will be turned off to this, because there's a lot of kids that grew up in the 90s, early 2000s, that LJNs, they don't know anything about, they don't care about. This packaging does nothing for them. I understand that. I could very much understand where somebody would come with that opinion out there. So it'll be interesting where this all shakes out. There's so many variables of people maybe not wanting this, maybe people not wanting an Ultimate Edition. Then you got the G.I. Joe fan base involved. Just a lot going on, and then you throw a whole new website into this. It just sounds like a recipe for some trouble, but hopefully not. Fingers crossed across the board. You keep yours fingers crossed as well. But about the figure a little bit, Sergeant Slaughter obviously comes with his hat. His hat is very a formal hat. We know Sergeant Slaughter's hat. It is removable. Sunglasses, removable. He does have an extra head. We got 3 extra sets of hands, actually. You're going to have his whistle around him, and then his riding crop, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what that thing's called. But he comes with a lot of accessories like Ultimate Editions always do. We can see in the packaging here, it shows the accessories down below, kind of by his feet. Cool nod, because normally in the LJNs, if you guys remember LJN figures on card, had the poster down there. I don't know if it'll come with a poster. Doesn't look like it is, but I guess they haven't totally said yes or no, but it doesn't look like it will. But you can put the jacket on Slaughter. You can have the jacket off. Jacket off, I mean, I'm going to put him with the jacket on, but the jacket off, that's what speaks to this LJN Hasbro G.I. Joe mail away. It's a really nod to those Joe fans out there that are going to really like this. And I got to think back. I'm spitballing off the top of my head, but I want to say it was... was it 12, 13, 14, maybe 15 years ago, there was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Sergeant Slaughter in the G.I. Joe 35th anniversary line as well, in this same gear. So this is not the first go-around of Sarge as a San Diego Comic-Con in this gear, which is really cool. Once again, G.I. Joe and wrestling. Sergeant Slaughter walks both of those lines, and as many wrestling conventions as he does, I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't do more G.I. Joe conventions, which is the strangest thing out there. Because a lot of people that are deep in wrestling forget about it, how important to G.I. Joe Sergeant Slaughter was, especially to me. I like Sergeant Slaughter a whole lot more in the G.I. Joe universe than the wrestling universe. And I might be the same there. You guys leave me in the comments and below and let me know. Are you more of a Sarge wrestling or a Sarge G.I. Joe guy? That'd be interesting to know out there. I'd got to think it's 60-40, 50-50. But we'll see. But he does come with his coat and all that stuff, so you can really dress him up if you want. But very cool. Ultimate Editions. We know all the articulation that comes with Ultimate Editions across the board. Very, very cool figures. And a lot of people seem to like them. They've really caught fire in the last year, I would say. The packaging is interesting. So the packaging looks about Mr. T packaging size, if you remember the Mr. T San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Gosh, was that last year? I guess that was probably a year ago. It just seems like 100 years ago, but that's COVID for you. The packaging is cool. It's got the old school WWE-inspired, WWF-inspired logo on the back with the baby blue kind of really speaking out to that LJN. And then the other side, you got a cool G.I. Joe really inspired artwork of the Sarge wrapped in the flag, everything like that. It would have been cool if Sarge would have came with a flag with the figure. That would have been a really nice touch. But the outside packaging looks awesome. But then here's the question I have, and this hasn't been answered either. So there's that outside box. We've talked about this on the channel before. That outside box, that means this figure is mint on card. Unfortunately, you unseal that outside box, what is inside? You won't know if there's a chase version or the regular blue unless you open it. So really hard, really plays with your mind a little bit. You got to figure out what's going on, because that box is such an important part of the mint on card experience. Well, you open up that box, then all of a sudden it's no longer mint in box, and you got the carded figure inside. So that'll be interesting. I don't know if there's a way, if it's blue on the outside packaging, maybe the Chase one will have black. I didn't see pictures that showed that, but it'll be interesting. But once you open it up, you're going to find out, did I get the black or blue carded release? Black card is kind of the mythical end of the line LJNs. If you guys are familiar with LJNs out there, I remember getting the whole black card set. I shouldn't say the whole set. I didn't get Ravishing Rick Rude as a kid, because even then, as a little 9-year-old, I said, you know what, this figure is terrible. There's no playability with this one. So I passed the Rick Rude, but I got the other ones. My dad got them out of the back of PWI magazine back in the day. So I was one of the lucky few, it seems like, as a childhood. I didn't know any different, but those were Canadian exclusives, as most of us know, and you could get them through magazines and stuff. So a black card, which Sarge never came on a blue or black card. So I guess it's just kind of an Easter egg for those that know, hey, here's Sarge on black, here's Sarge on blue. Just a little point of difference. I was always partial to the black, or the blue card, excuse me. The blue card was, when you think LJN, you think the blue card. Black was only one run. I mean, it wasn't as iconic as the blue, but still cool. The card art is cartoon inspired, once again, very similar to the LJN, but the black and blue have a different version of Sergeant Slaughter on the card, which I think is a really nice touch as well. Just a very solid figure across the board, if you ask me. I like this a lot. And I said, when people would hit me up after watching Weekly Purchase trying to give them hints, I said, and I'm going to stick to it, a lot of people will love this, a lot of people will hate this. For wrestling fans, I don't think this has the appeal of the Slim Jim Macho Man, but G.I. Joe fans, they love stuff like this, and I'm a G.I. Joe fan, so I can speak on behalf of the whole community. Look at me go. And then you got the crossover people, and you got the people who are just going to buy to be completists. A lot of crossover. I just feel a storm of brewing. I just hope Mattel Creations' site is very easy to use, very easy to check out. What will the limits be? Will it be limit 1, limit 2, unlimited? We'll find out on that as well. You know, scalpers and stuff like that is always trouble. Personally, I want 3. That's a lot, but I'd really like to have a Chase. I'd really like to have a regular one on card, and then, of course, I got to open one. That's how I'm looking at it, and this, for me, is a great exclusive as it serves G.I. Joe wrestling fandom that I have. So you guys in the comments, though, tell me your thoughts. Were you surprised? Did you figure this was the way it was going to go? What are your plans? How many of these do you need? Are you a G.I. Joe fan? Are you a wrestling fan? Are you a crossover fan? There's a lot of questions to be asked about this one, but I'm very excited. I'm very excited about the He-Man Masters of the Universe Revelations Mattel announcement, which should be coming this week as well. A lot of people, like me, I love He-Man as well. I'm a kid of the 80s, of course I do, but I'm excited about this one. A bit of a deep-cut character that has really ramped up in the last few years, I would say, in popularity, and I think a lot of us will be happy with this figure. I just hope, once again, I gotta assume it'll be on Mattel Creations, and we'll be able to pick it up very easily. It also sounds like we'll get some more WWE news this week. It'll be interesting because Friday I usually film Weekly Purchases. That's Saturday morning, we put all the news together and all that. Well, Weekly Purchases might be early or it might be later on Saturday because I am actually going to meet Sergeant Slaughter this Friday. I'm going to go say, Sarge, we met 2 years ago. We talked about Nemesis Enforcer. What do you know about him now? I'm going to put him on the spot. Maybe I'll even get it on video. I'll say, we got to hash this out. Why don't you remember Nemesis Enforcer? Did he beat something out of you? But I'll be seeing Sergeant Slaughter this week, and a personal favorite of mine, one of my top 5 favorites of all time, Ken Shamrock. I'll be hitting up both those guys this Friday. Waterloo, Iowa, the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame induction ceremony weekend. Big wrestling show on Friday. Hey, if you're there, come say hi. I'll be there. I'll probably be in a Motorhead shirt or something. You can find me. I'll be there. But I'm definitely going to hit up old Sergeant Slaughter. I'm going to hit up old Ken Shamrock. So it might delay some of the news announcements, but we'll see. Later this week, we're going to get more Elite news, it sounds like, and some more figure news. Buckle up. It's going to be an exciting time the next few weeks with San Diego Comic-Con. Not just wrestling, but we're talking Marvel Legends, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Ninja Turtles. You name it, there's going to be a lot of announcements that are going to take us the back half of 2021 into the first half of 2022. Get your wallets ready. That's all I can say. Enjoy this downtime we got right now. Save your money or play the long game. Pick up some stuff you need because all your funds are going to be tied up in the back half of the year. I guarantee that. So there it is. The San Diego Comic-Con is officially announced for 2021. Ultimate Edition Sergeant Slaughter Blue Card and Black Card Chase variant. Get after it. get after it. Buy me one. There you go. No, but hopefully I can get my 3. Hopefully you guys can get yours, and we'll talk much more about it on weekly purchases in this week. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, all that fun stuff, and leave me your comments with a thought on this one. And for Sergeant Slaughter, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.